Well, hello again. How are you feeling? Good. Are you enjoying your final day off before you return to work? That is good to hear. Actually, it's a good thing that I bumped into you, because I thought now that you're here, maybe I could perhaps pick your brains a little bit. Oh, no, don't you worry, you're not in trouble of any kind. I actually wanted to ask a few things about that upcoming dinner. I certainly hope you haven't forgotten about that. Well, I thought that perhaps I could slide a few questions your way, and if you'd like, maybe I can put in a good word to the staff there and get you something custom made. Oh, I insist. I want you to have the best possible meal after all. Tell you what, how about we park ourselves on this nearby bench and let's get to chatting. All right. There we go. Let me just get out a little notebook of mine. Okay then. Like I say, I can see what I can do to get anything you'd like done. So, let's start off with something easy. What would you like for a starter? Now, it could be anything you want. It could be something small, healthy, maybe some finger foods, something fruity, maybe some vegetables, or if you want to go a bit more exotic, maybe you might want to think of a kind of food from anywhere in the world. Maybe some Indian, maybe some Chinese. Tell me, what comes to mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of a really good starter? I like the sound of that. Let me just make a note of that. Here we go. Alright then, alright. Maybe I might be able to get some for myself as well. Okay, so a main course. What would you like for your big main meal? Like, say, custom made. I can put in a special request for anything you like. Something meaty. Maybe a bit of seafood. Maybe you're vegetarian or vegan. Either way, it can be done. So, what would you like for the main meal then? Alright then. Yeah, I'm sure they can make that happen, and I'll make sure especially that they cook it to perfection. I don't want any second-rate meals, that's for sure. Alright then, let's make a note of that. Now, the dessert. What would you like as a sweet treat for afterwards? I'm sure you can fit it in after all. Helps the stomach settle down with a bit of a sweet treat. I can make a few suggestions if you like. Oh, I certainly. Well, I was thinking maybe you could go for a English bread and butter pudding. Have you ever tried that? Get some battered eggs mixed with sugar. Pour it all over some slices of bread. Maybe you want to slip in a few soft berries inside those slices as well. Fling it in the oven and serve it up with custard. It is divine. Maybe you might want to go for something a bit more conventional. Thick slice of forest gâteau chocolate cake, decorated with glazed cherries, and a big old dollop of ice cream alongside to help it all go down. Maybe I could put in a good word for some delicious apple crumble, one of my favorites. Smother that with some delicious fresh cream. You've got yourself one heck of a dessert right there. Tell me, any of these tantalize your taste buds? Or maybe you might have something else on the mind. Good choice, good choice. Let me just make a note of that for you. There we are. Oh, don't you worry, don't you worry. It won't take too long. Just got a few more questions I can ask if you'd like. Would you like me to put in a good word for some live music? Maybe you might just want to listen to the hustle and bustle of the restaurant. What would you like? Oh, certainly, certainly. I can always pull a few strings and make sure that you get the best dining experience. Let's scribble that down. Here we go. Of course, we gotta think of a befitting date and time as well. Tell me, what days are you free this upcoming week? I mean, if that's not too soon, of course. I think I can make any day work, especially with you in mind. So, don't you worry about me, I'm flexible. What days come to mind for you? Any good days for an evening meal? Yeah, I can make that happen. Most certainly make that happen for you. Alright then. Oh, almost forgot. What about drinks? Now, if you'd like, I can get you something alcoholic with a bit of a kick or a fruity twist. But don't you worry if you want something a bit more flavorsome, non-alcoholic. Don't worry, I'm not gonna get you all drunk on the spot and have you spilling out all the juicy secrets. Don't you worry about that. Like I say, doesn't have to be alcoholic. Can just be a ever so fine and fruity drink. Maybe something fizzy. Or if you like, I could perhaps get the boys in the kitchen to mix up a good old mocktail for you. Certainly. I'll just make a note of that. And did you worry about any of this? I'm sure that the staff there can double time it to make sure they got all the necessary ingredients for this big old meal coming up. I like to think of myself as quite the persuasive type. They'd be more than happy to make you an extra special meal. It's gonna be on my bill as well, so I'm more than certain they are not gonna complain whatsoever. Oh, no, don't you feel guilty about that? You don't have to worry about it. It's my treat. Like I say, I always like treating all of my staff members, especially ones that have been doing such a wonderful job. Just like you. Alright then, let's just make a note of all that. There we go. I'll let you know the name of the place. It's called the Palace. It's only a few blocks away from where we work. Have you walked by that? Oh, you have. Oh, let me just say, it is absolutely divine. They make some absolutely fantastic meals, especially if you wanted something custom-made in advance. Decor is ever so beautiful. Such a relaxing place for a late-night meal, I must say. If you're into live music, they sometimes get someone to play something bluesy or relaxing, but of course, we all know your choices with that. I'm looking forward to this. How about you? That's what I thought. I thought I saw anticipation and excitement in those eyes when I brought that conversation topic up with you. Yeah, I bet it's gonna be a night to remember. I'm more than certain of that. And if you'd like, I can get you a taxi home. I can tag along if you'd like. Or maybe you might want to walk home with me. Just want to make sure that you're absolutely safe and sound. Oh, I insist. But of course, only if you're comfortable with that. Certainly. Yeah, certainly. Like, say, you can decide on the day if you like, just in case you change your mind. Again, if you're going for the taxi, it's on my dime. Don't you worry about that. What kind of gentleman would I be if I wasn't covering travel costs? Or at least being alongside you, heading back home? By the way, have you got anything fancy to dress yourself up in? Oh, I see. By the way, you don't have to go all out if you don't want to. Just get something smart casual if you'd like. You really don't have to spend too much to dress good. You don't have to burn a hole in your pocket after all. Besides, it's gonna be my treat. I don't want you to spend a single coin. I don't want you to lose a single coin or note. My gift to you. Well, I'm gonna head on back to work, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. By the way, if you need anything, you know who to call, or you can just drop me a line. Does that all sound good to you? Let me just show you the notes I've made. Does that all look good to you? Good. Thank you for letting me know. And thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule with helping out with some preparations. Well, I guess I should head on off then. I'll be seeing you very soon, won't I, my star employee? You take care now. I'll be seeing you very soon indeed.